Hey there, and welcome back to Wave On, the podcast where we ride the waves of creativity, community, and small business life. I'm Misty, and today I've got a super sweet episode for you. Literally, I'm joined by a fellow maker I meet at a vending show who crafts wild and wonderful candy flavors. We're talking about what keeps us creating, the real deal behind running a small business, and even a little chat about using tools like ChatGPT. Before we dive in, a few quick updates. The Big Bay Retreat is coming up this July 25th through 27th, and we have 2 spots left. So don't wait. If you're local, come say hi at PeaceFest next week in Waterford. We'll be there June 7th and 8th. PeaceFest paddles, lip balms, all the good vibes. Come check us out. All right, let's get into this sweet conversation. Oh, Julie, thanks for being here on the podcast. I loved meeting you, by the way, and just sharing the vibe. You just kind of grabbed me at this vendor show and pulled me over, and our names kind of aligned and everything. But why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, please?
Absolutely. Good morning. Well, it's morning for us. I don't know when but yes, good morning. My name is Julie, and thank you so much, Misty, for having me on. This is amazing, and I love that. I love what you do. And yes, you and I, our energies just when we met at the show, they just flowed. They just came together, and it was like harmony all together. So yeah, I own a My Moon Treats, and that is I make crystal candies, which is completely not has anything to do with yoga, but
It doesn't have to make sense.
doesn't have to. Um, but it was yeah, I started this journey just last year, in 2024, and decided to go ahead, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to make these candies and stuff." It actually started with a dream, which is interestingly enough. I had a dream that I was at a show. It wasn't like any particular show, but it was almost like a deja vu. And I was with my family and my husband. We were setting the table up, we were setting everything up in the dream, and I had no clue what I was like, "What are we selling?" in the dream. And then he kinda gave me this product, and it was like this like candy, but it was clear, and it had different flavors and different things like that, and it was just so unique and different, and I was like, "Oh, that's amazing." And then I woke up. So,
Oh,
and I it's funny that I dismissed it for such a long time. Like I was like, "Oh, it's just a dream. No big deal, whatever." And then all these little things, all these like little universe things kept popping in and just kept reminding me of it, and I was like, "Okay, let me research this, let me see what's going on, let me find a recipe that I needed because these are specific to Asian culture, Japanese culture. Their official name is Kohakatu, and it is, so they are crisp on the outside, soft on the inside, and I make them into little cluster candies and stuff like that. I've got 10 flavors right now. I know you were at the show, and I was like, "Try this flavor, what do you think?" And all that stuff. They are gluten-free, vegan, and vegetarian friendly because of the ingredients of the agar-agar powder that I use for the gelatin, because they take a gelatin to set up, and they mold in the fridge just like Jello, and then I take them out, and then they take 7 days to dry for them to get that sugar crispness to them, and then to have that softness on the inside. So everyone goes, "Oh, it's a hard candy," and I go, "No," and then they go, "But it's like a gummy," and I go, "No." I mean,
right.
you've tried them. So
Yeah,
they
exactly.
go ahead.
It's got, well, it's that kind of that mix of both. If I think at first, well, when I saw it at first, when you pulled me aside over there, and I was like, oh wow, I had never seen anything like that. But it started to remind me of, like, yeah, this kind of hybrid of like the rock candies that are on the stick
Yes.
by looking, not by tasting. And then I'm like, well, no, it's kind of like a gummy, but it's not like a
It's not,
gummy.
yeah, it
It
does melt in your mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
Another customer of mine mentioned, she goes, "Oh, this is kinda like a crème brûlée," and I was
Mm,
like, "That's a good way to do it."
that's a very good
Yeah, it's a
expression.
good way to explain it a little bit more because it has that sugar coating on it, but then it's not like a chewy gummy,
Mhm.
right? Like, it's different, and I just like I said, I just ran with it. The universe must have told like, I don't know. I've been having so much fun with it, though. I've been oh my gosh, the shows have been amazing. The people like you to meet are been amazing. And just to see everybody's, face light up when they eat it or they go, "Oh my gosh, I've never seen this," especially here in the Midwest, it's not something we see at all.
Right, right. Yeah, I would agree. But yeah, back to that first taste of
Yeah.
being a gummy, I realized like it didn't stick to my teeth. And you're saying like it melts, it kind of melts in your mouth a little bit and it's not overdone. So you have a little taste, but it's not too sweet. It's not overdone. It's nice. I like it.
Thank you, and I'm working oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be always working on new flavors and stuff like that. I do too much. I always do too much. There's 10 flavors currently, and I love so much that I get to play with the creativity of that. I love that for a business anyway, and I know you get to do that too for your business, is to just play with the creativity and especially being business or owners, we're always, "Oh my gosh, what if this happens?" or "What if we do this?" or "Change that?" and stuff like that. And I've been going into this a lot more. I wanted to go into it a lot more playful, little like playful with this company and stuff. So I really have been played with the names of the candies. We have like lemon calcite, amethyst, harvest, and thing. The two new ones were are blossom onyx and blushberry quartz, are strawberry and orange together, and then lavender blackberry. Which I can't remember if you tried at the last show we saw I just saw you at or not,
I think
so
I tried both of those.
did you? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I think it did. It was I had the blossom at first. Blossom,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Blossom onyx, yeah. They're
But
just so much fun, yeah.
yeah, I know it. A few things actually about the whole business thing. Yeah, I
Yeah,
totally like relate with. I mean, I've had a lot of people on the podcast that have some type of business,
right.
and you always feel like no matter what the topic is, or I mean, whatever it is that you're creating, I guess there's still the business aspect that just is all very overlaid, and they're similar, and I think that we can all learn from each other that it can be kind of lonely, but then,
Yeah.
you go through these phases, right? Just like life, like, on a high and then, oh, wow, that didn't work out so well, or it wasn't how I had planned. But, back to a little bit of the creativity of it, I definitely relate with that. I think the approach, it's like having fun with it. Why would you do it if you're not having fun with it or
Mhm.
you don't like it anymore? That kind of thing. I think sometimes that could be a worry too, like, what if I don't like this anymore?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, even my recent one was, because I had a show not that long ago, and it was a witches market, which is completely up my alley and completely in line with with my business and being, with the crystal candies and the clusters. I love the element of magic putting in there and with my booth set up and all that stuff. You've seen all that, so
Yeah.
I put little fairy lights all over and,
I like your table. In the
thank you.
last one, you had a lot of stuff, and
I
then like you were just
did.
saying, like, I like to do a lot of things, like make and get creative with it. But yeah, I was so surprised. You're like, and I made this today or for today, and put this together. I'm like, wow, that's really neat.
I have to have I'm that person, and whether it's what neurospicy, whatever they call it, or ADHD or something, I like on a almost a daily basis, I need a creative outlet. Between, let's see, laundry and kids and life and just even, all the mundane things that we hate to do,
Mhm.
especially I don't know about you. Mine's laundry.
No, mine is definitely laundry.
But I need to have that creativity and stuff like that. So I'm like, if I need it, I feel like other people definitely need it. So yes, absolutely. So I approached it, and like I said, one of the things that I took recently from my, like, what if this fails? What if this sucks? What if whatever? And like I said, I was at the witches market, and there was all these different vendors there, and I was like, you know what? We're just gonna go for it. And I'm going to I used to do Renaissance fair volunteer and stuff like that. So I have the full garb. I've got a corset, I've got the garb, right? I've got the whole outfit, and so I made it kind of like a kitchen witch. I had this, I had my corset on, and I had a dress, and I had all the stuff. So I had a full-blown renaissance-y thing looking, and which again worked perfect for the witches market. But then I thought to myself, I said, well, if I wear this to this show, what if I wear it to a regular craft show where it's just normal people? Not to say that people that don't go to the witches market aren't normal. Those are my people. I love that. Like I said, people that are into incense and crystals and all that stuff. Like grandma's not going to the witches market per se, she's going to the normal craft show or a spring market or something like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So,
I know what you mean.
but my I as my yeah, and I'm getting on off point, but my point is I was like, well, again, playing with that creativity. I said, what if I wear my garb, wear my witch's outfit. What if I just wear that to every show? And I'm gonna be that person that stands out, but at the same time, am I gonna, oh my gosh, all the what ifs came into my brain.
Yeah.
What if someone hates it? What if I look silly? What if I look like not a clown per se, but what if I look
Yeah.
like I'm just wearing like I'm at Halloween or something, like I'm wearing
Sure.
a costume, versus but then I was like, well, what if it works? What if it works? What if it looks cool? What if I get compliments on it? What if I mean, so I did it. I just went for it and I did it and I mean nobody said I look ugly, so that's great. But I did it to two I've done it for two other shows now, what are again just normal craft shows. And I think I don't know, it just I'm again, that's part of business. Is I
Yeah.
think doing that exploration and just trying it and trying not to get into our own heads and be afraid and all that stuff, for
Yeah,
sure.
I definitely have thought a lot about that this winter
Mhm.
from January on. And there's a couple of things and there's like back to what I was saying about like learning from other entrepreneurs and being this little bit of a lonely road, but then when you find some that you can be inspired by or share stories and things, it's nice, it's uplifting. But
Absolutely.
putting yourself out there, yeah, that's been a big topic of that I've played with this winter, and how much do you want to do? How much do you want to put yourself out there and that kind of
Yeah,
thing?
what were you playing with? Any ideas you wanna share?
Well,
What
I guess I mean I've always been kind of vocal as far as like doing videos and putting a message out there, but for me a lot of times I don't think people understand and I'm kind of going more for like the client standpoint, client or somebody new that wants to come and try paddleboarding.
Yeah, correct.
And they have no idea what it takes to with all the gear, loading, unloading, setting up, fins, paddles, life jackets, like all these things. There's just so many items to keep track of.
A
And
checklist. I could see it in your brain, you
yeah,
got a
right.
checklist.
And I'm just like, I should tell more about this story in a way. Just and you're like, "Yeah, but how much or what or how would you format that?" Or, and a lot of times reels are great and easy stories or whatever to just, do fast motion video clip or something or maybe
Oh,
a
reels
carousel
yeah.
photo, maybe something like that, but
Absolutely, yeah, reels have been great for me as well on Facebook and stuff, absolutely.
yeah.
Because I've been on there and it's funny that I saw another content creator, she was from New York and she makes, like, scrunchies and like, completely not even what we do, but it's funny that I took, like, one little advice that she had on all her little vlogs that she was doing on YouTube and stuff, and I thought it just resonated with me, and you can tell me if it resonates with you. She's like, every little step that we do, which seems mundane as business owners, she said, everything is content. And I
Mhm.
was like, huh. I was like, that's interesting because me just making candies in my kitchen, that's just me getting ready for a show or getting inventory or something like that. And yours is very similar with the life jackets. You're like, I'm just getting my stuff ready, I'm packing everything up, blah, blah, blah. But then if we record it for a hot second and make it into a reel or something, then it's content. And like you said, people don't realize what goes into it or whatever, but then they kind of get a behind the scenes kind of peek.
Yeah, and I've heard other content creators even say that people like to watch that for some reason.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
like to watch
yeah.
the
I mean,
like
I'm literally stirring the pot and I'm putting my pouring the molds into my little sample molds and stuff, my little square molds and stuff. What's some of the others is like, yeah, like I'm just stirring the pot, and that's just me making the candies,
yeah.
but which seems boring to me, not boring, but it's just part of the
It's
process.
just a step, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's funny. It's like,
But then people love
right. It
it.
could be even, like packing a bag, right? Like I'm packing my stuff up and tell, I don't know, tell even another story voiceover over like just
Yeah.
that video, right? And it's part of the creativity, but yeah, then all of a sudden you're caught in the task mode. Like I got to get this stuff done. There's a deadline or the show this weekend and that kind of
Yeah.
thing. And then like you take a step back. You're like, I don't have time for this video editing right now.
Yeah, exactly. But
So
I just found that so interesting that she was like, everything is content. Like, same thing. I was watching one of her videos, and she was just setting up her table for a show. For like, say she had a regular craft show or whatever.
okay.
And there was people, but she was live. I mean, it was like a live almost. There was like, I don't know how many people watching it, but she was literally exactly what you and I do, just setting up for a
Yeah.
show.
Jeez.
Yeah, right? It's just interesting to me. So I love that concept of, just like I said, like what we think as mundane, or we think that someone might not be interested in, for our business or something. They do like it, and they are interested. And so
Mhm.
that's great.
Right? And it seems like it's so simple. It's just like this should come so simple, but I'm telling you for years I was like, I don't even know what to share. I don't even know what to yeah, okay,
Right?
here's a sunset photo. I don't know. I mean, what it's just kind of
Yeah,
funny.
right.
It's like this year. All of a sudden this year I'm like, all right, just be playful, try
Mhm.
things. If it doesn't work, move on, go on to something else. Stay
Yeah.
open-minded and then just put yourself out there. I mean, you don't have to
Oh, yeah.
do all the
Oh, yeah,
yourself
when I
out
think
there,
I'm
but
gonna like, I was like, "Oh, what did I get myself into wearing that corset to every show now?" It is a comfortable corset, I will say that. I got it on Amazon, and it undoes in the front or whatever. So it is very easy to take on and off, and stuff like that if I really wanna take it off. I'm not stuck in it all day, but,
I say go for it. I mean, I'm gonna be the motivator, like what I do a lot of anyways,
yeah.
motivating. I say go for it. I mean, me, yeah, I'm pretty goofy at times. Sometimes, maybe I don't know. I don't act my age, but whatever.
Who does? Who should? Like, we shouldn't know.
Because I mean, like, think about it. I'm like, okay, here I am. I don't think I'm normal.
Nope.
I have this giant van with graphics all over it, full of paddle boards and whatever else. And here I am gonna show up to
Don't forget
something
your
and people
doggy, don't
I
forget
know,
the
and
doggy.
the dog. What the heck is this? Is this like the circus in town or something?
They say the same to me. Like, again, same thing when I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna dress up as a kitchen witch and go to a craft show."
Just embrace it. Just
Yeah,
go for
let's
it.
just be unnormal. Let's be unnormal.
Being
But
normal. I'm sorry. This is me.
but I think that's what makes us unique, and that's what people are drawn to. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't want us to be normal, and I don't wanna be normal anymore for sure, but at the same time, yeah, let's just be our authentic selves, right? Like, I think that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, and a lot of times for businesses too, yeah, you want to stand out, you want to, be unique and that kind of thing. But I mean, if I was to do your business or vice
Mhm.
versa, we probably would do it completely different.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd be like, yeah, sure, it's a paddleboard or candy, but at the same time, like however you conduct it, the voice behind it, the representation, all of that. I mean, that's what makes it unique
Yes.
is your
Yeah.
piece, right? And of the puzzle and what you're, creating and formulating and putting out there.
And I think audience for sure. Audience, customers, whoever comes to either my booth or sees you, and your and like you said, your paddle boards and everything in your truck, and your they what's different for you and I, though, or what I find different, and where I think, like I said, we immediately connected with each other, was we are genuine about it, though. We are the genuine, we're not fake about it. We're not, it's just this genuine, that's, again, that's us. That's us not being normal, which is fine.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, like, think about it. Like that last show right next to me, I didn't
Mhm.
even know it. She had some lip balms and she had soap and lotion. And you know
Yeah.
what? We both made sales,
Yeah.
and that is exactly what I was just saying. Like it was just completely different the way her representation and my vibe and what was going on. And you know what? We both made sales. We were fine. What's the problem? you know?
Yeah, right?
I don't to me anyways, that's my opinion.
Absolutely, yeah. And I love that we are doing something different. Like I said, I get all the time when people come to my booth and try sample and stuff like that. By the way, always free samples. There will never be a show I will never be at with not free samples. If I do, I'm not going to the show. I
You
find it well, as far as a food vendor goes, or a food someone who sells specialty foods, you have to try it. You have to try it to have fun and enjoy the product that you're going to buy. I've seen so many other people at the other food, especially food people at the shows, where obviously if you know what like sourdough tastes like and stuff like that, but
yeah.
everybody's recipe is going to be a little different. And I find it so interesting the vendors that don't have a free sample or something like that. Again, that's just particular to me and my genre, you know. Let's do free samples for you, Misty. Let's
My free
how do we do that? No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
I'm really
it's
kidding.
kind of interesting because one of the things I was going to ask you about, like going back talking about just like variety of shows, different variety, spaces, inside, outside, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So outside is kind of nice for me because I can have a paddleboard out. But now for the lip balm or lotion, and the lip balm's kind of hard to do, like a
That one's hard. That one's
sample.
harder
But I
for
just
sure.
have them like use it like maybe on their finger, just to touch it. But the lotion,
They can feel. Yeah, they can feel. They can
yeah,
feel.
the lotion I'll have out like a little bar sample that they could try out. But what's funny is I noticed that one of my molds, it's just a little kind of squarey at
Yeah.
first when pull it out and it has the edges and everything. Well, sometimes it has the tendency to break.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
wanted to set up a camera and watch, just like, like just kind of like I Spy. What's the other word for it? Like I forgot what it's called.
Oh, I'm not bringing it. It's not coming to my mind either. Sorry.
I know it lost me real quick. Hidden camera, that's it.
Hidden camera. Yes, yes,
Hidden
yes.
camera. So they take the bar, right? They have it in their hand, they're using it for a second, and then there's that person that might break it.
Oh yeah.
And
And
they're
then you're
like,
like, oh my god.
I broke this. I'm so
The
sorry.
horror. The
Oh,
horror.
look at it. I'm like, it's okay. Like people can still use it, you know?
Yeah.
It's happened a few times where I'm like, what else can I say to make them feel comfortable that, okay, it's not a problem, you know? Anyway, it's just kind of funny. But inside, outside, yeah. Outside, I can have kind of a board set up and people
Yeah.
can stand on it or so I have some shows outside coming up that are going to
Okay.
be that will be like that, a little more themed. But I wanted to get your take when you were talking about the corset and being like just setting yourself out there a little differently. The outside ones, though, I feel like you can play so much more. And and talking about open your mind and like, okay, what can I do at this show and make it, completely like almost like an experience, right?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Have you thought about like that kind of stuff? Maybe moving into summer or
Yeah,
outside
yeah,
stuff?
summer coming up, funny enough, it's funny how, sometimes our businesses are the opposite. I have a couple shows coming up, definitely, I'll plug those in towards the end. I have one in May coming up, at the beginning of May, and then June. I actually took July and August off.
Oh, okay.
Just also because the kids are out of school and all that stuff, so it's, mom life and things like that. One of the shows that I was thinking of, or the outside ones and stuff like that, is coming up is the Lavender Festival that I will be a part of.
Oh, cool.
Definitely because I will be like they've got like a covered pavilion for us,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna be there. So I won't have like an actual tent or anything like that. But one of the things that I've been doing lately, and it started at the witches show actually. Same thing. It's that creativity. It's that well, what if I just do this at every show, whatever because at the witches market, it was an amazing market. I sold out. It was a 2-day show and I completely sold every candy I had in my inventory. I was taking them out of my display samples and stuff because people are like, "Well, can I buy that?" And I'm like, "Yes, yes, here."
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
It was an I mean, it was just incredible. That had never happened before. That was a first, and it was incredible. But I mean, I was selling out from the first day going into the second day, and I had to go home and go, "Oh my God, what am I gonna do for tomorrow?" Because I'm already half sold out.
Gosh.
So I started doing mystery bags. Those all sold out, which was amazing. So I just put I've got a mini bag that I do where people can choose their own treats. They can choose their own flavors, but then I just put randomly 2 of them in a bag and sealed it up with a nice bow and stuff. But they're mystery. So, they're in a paper bag, you can't see through them. So those are going over splendidly. And then the other ones that have been going, I don't know about you, I am a freebie person. I love a freebie. Who doesn't love a freebie, right?
Sure.
Uh, so, something as well I did for my booth, to again get with the magic, get with the theme, get with everything, is I started making little fortune scrolls. Going back to the creativity where I need, like, I need to like do something with my hands and create, and it zones me out and it zen, like it just gives me in just a zen. It does that. It gets all the vibes for me. Gives me that dopamine that I need, every day.
Yeah, for sure.
So I started making these little fortune scrolls and stuff like that, and they just have really cute. I mean, I didn't want them. I say fortune scrolls because I had just like this brown paper, and I printed them out, and then I again got super craftsy with it and painted them with like this brush gold. They look old and they look kind of like something you would find at like an ancient like little ruin or something. Where like like I mean like we're like little kids, and there's like there's a map, right? Or
Yeah,
something.
that's cool.
Oh my god, I gotta go to like the monkey temple or I don't know.
Mhm.
Whatever. I just again, the scrolls have been going over so well, and they're a freebie for everyone who makes a purchase with me, which is great. And I think they've been going over so well, and it's just something simple and something that I thought would never ever take off, but it's that extra magic, it's that extra something. And again, who doesn't love a freebie? If you're going to purchase with me and stuff like that, which I think is amazing. I love, I thank everyone, and you're the same, I'm sure. You're like, "Oh, thank you so much for coming. Thank you
Yeah,
for trying this. Thank you for
absolutely.
trying my candy.
Mhm.
Thank you for trying paddleboard yoga."
Mhm.
It's great. So I never thought those scrolls would take off. And since they did, I've been making more and more and more. And I bring them to every show because people are loving them.
That's
And
cool.
yeah.
That's really
So
nice.
that was
It's
oh, thank you.
thoughtful,
Thank you.
you know?
But I mean, I tried to make them a little more of like an affirmation better than like a fortune cookie. I don't know. With AI nowadays, I wouldn't be surprised if AI is just printing them off now for the companies that do that.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like
'Cause it's so random.
I was telling somebody a story, I forgot what it was. It was about the business, but it was something about, like, the story, it just unfolded with, like, the logo and the name and everything like that, and they were like, "Oh, so you were kind of being your own ChatGPT." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess, because I didn't
Yeah.
ask it. I mean, I didn't have it. Nobody had it, you know?
Right?
This is you know what I mean? Like, this just didn't come out of nowhere." I say that because it's like, it's now so easy just to have AI to help you with some of your,
Oh, yeah.
brainstorming and that kind of thing, but
It does help. I have used it as well for even I mean, even not I don't use it for a therapist or anything, but even if it's on there and and I say, "Well, what about this?" I'll ask it a question. I'll be like, "Well, what about these fortune scrolls? Like, you think the," and they're like, it's like, "Yeah, go for it,"
oh, really?
So funny enough, it's broken. The AI has broken that barrier of my fears, of my what ifs. What if this goes wrong with the business? What if this happens or whatever? And it's like, well, what if it doesn't? Like it's funny. Yeah.
It is kind of
It's funny.
funny.
For me.
Mhm. I don't know about you, but here's a little funky little twist that I started last year, and
Yeah.
I don't know why. I have no idea why. Okay, you know the Magic 8 Ball.
Yes. Yes. Of
Ask it
course.
something,
We
it
all
says
grew
some
up with that. Oh my god,
right.
it's aging me anyway.
I wish I had mine, or if I even had one, I'm not sure, but I went and bought one because I'm like, why
Yeah.
not? And it was just kind of a little prop for content creating.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, like, I would ask it a question and I'd say, "Well, absolutely, we're going on that paddle, see?" And then I realized, like, that was year 7. I'm like, "Next year is 8." So,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, "Let's play with it a little more," right? I haven't done a whole
Yeah.
lot with it lately, but it's this whole ChatGPT thing sounds like a sophisticated Magic 8 Ball in a weird way. Like,
Oh,
I
absolutely.
can't
Yeah.
help but, like, think that now because it's like you said, I've asked it too. One was, even for, something I'm planning this summer,
Mhm.
and I said, Listen, I'm trying to figure out what their launch spot is like. Is this gonna work? Is this, and then what message should I put out there to like maybe motivate people and stuff? I wanna, you know. Anyway, I might have asked it a pretty in-depth question, but fired right back at me and said like you should not be worried. And it pulled sources for this one, so it wasn't just like all about emojis or just
Right, 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 yeah.
message. It was like, no, no, this has come from this website about launching in the lake and this and that. And I'm like, wow, wow, you've given me a little more confidence in this. Like
Yeah, absolutely. I had a show, and I know we're getting sorry, I've been going on tangents. I mean,
sometimes that happens.
that's just me. My brain goes in 20 directions. But you reminded me of a show that didn't go well for me. I think it was last month. No, it was well, yeah, last month. It was March of 2025. And
Okay.
I ended up having it was just a normal, show, like a craft show, wasn't anything, genre specific or anything. I got a massive migraine headache, and
Oh,
I was like and it's funny that I've been trying to unlearn, we were all kinda taught to, like, stick it out, because there was 2 hours of the show left, and I was miserable. I was going out for air every 5 minutes and stuff. I was in a gym area, like, in the middle of a gym, and, they also unfortunately they're delicious on their own. The almond people, they do, like, the candied sugared almonds or
yeah.
we've all had those, like, the
Hmm.
coated almonds. Delicious, except they put them in the gym with us, and they closed all the doors and windows in the gym, and it was just overwhelming, not to mention on top of a
Oh,
migraine, right? Like a
oh,
nauseating migraine. So again, I was going out for air. I was all by myself that day. I didn't have anybody with me. So I had lovely, lovely vendor neighbors that were like watching my booth and stuff. I was just miserable.
mm,
Long story short, I was miserable and I packed it up early. I would not, I like that horrified me to pack it up early but also I'm glad I did it because I was taking care of myself. And it's funny that I check with the chat. Like I said, I check with the chat
mhm.
'cause it's like, "How did your show go?" And I was like, "Well, let me tell you all about it."
Oh my
Kinda,
gosh.
but it said the same thing. Like, it's funny that the chat came back. It was I was like, "I had a migraine, I had to leave early." I made, like, no sales. I didn't even make booth fee that day or whatever. Like, it was just a rough day for me, right? And all my fears and horrors came into play. How am I gonna, "Oh my gosh, are they gonna invite me back next year? They're gonna be like, 'She's the one that packed up early,'" all the fears, everything.
Yeah.
And chat came back was like, "You took care of yourself that day. Like,
Mm.
you went home and took care of yourself, and that's what, like, matters." And I was like, "Chat?" I was like, "Thank you, chat." Like, I mean, but it's funny that it does that,
Yeah.
it does that a little bit. And you can tell me if you've seen anything similar to that, but
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
I find
absolutely.
it interesting.
Well, it's funny because a neighbor friend of mine was saying something similar with another friend. She was helping out actually. It was something medically, but it wasn't to find the cure or anything. It was just, look,
Yeah,
how do I prepare myself between these two different doctors and what they're going to ask or say, so she didn't go in depth
right.
about it, but I understood what she meant. And it was basically like a prep for this person to walk into this house or this office versus this office. So, we're two different things, but
Correct,
they're
correct.
trying to figure something out. So anyway, well, I was like, well, I don't know. To me, that sounds great because you're there. It's giving them information to walk into something and be prepared, other than just not knowing anything, and then not knowing what to ask even or
Yeah.
so it was all relatable content. I mean, it was for her and medically. So I was like,
I
wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Yeah, it is fantastic. I think it is a great tool. I mean, obviously we can ask it silly things, but the fact
Sure.
that it came back and was like, "Hey, you took care of yourself that day. That's amazing, and we'll try again at the next show." And I don't know if like I said, you were talking where it sent you that research and stuff. I love that it'll always weigh the pros and cons for me. I don't know if you catch that.
I've had that
Yeah.
happen a couple times too on something, and I've used it for a lot of variety, honestly. So I'm failing at like a good example of it, but it's just that because like I'm saying, it's kind of like giving you inspiration, but it's pulling resource information too, depending on what the topic is.
Yeah.
So, it's just kind of like this helpful tool that not just inspirational message, right? It's like,
Yeah.
but anyway, I've used it
I
for
mean, 8
several
Ball's great
times.
too, don't get me wrong.
Eh, I
It's
don't
maybe a
know.
little it's maybe a little more simple, which it
That's the
definitely
thing.
goes back to when at least I grew up and you grew up. That was our we were simple back then, it was
It's
great.
fun. Yeah, I mean, it's fun, right? So
It was
I don't
great.
know. Anyway, I think it's nice though that you can ask it something about business flow of whatever it is, and it's been pretty helpful.
It's been a good tool, yeah. I don't even know how we got to AI, but I mean, but it was
It's a
oh,
hot topic right now. That's
yeah,
why.
yeah, but at the same time, again, small business wise, it is a tool for us to use, I think I think it's great. Like you said, being able to even just ask it like, "Hey, what if," like you said, "I'm setting up for the summer. What's something I can do to stand out at my summer show or something? What can I do?" Yeah,
I
right?
I remember something now for sure.
Yes, please.
I printed it out because I'm like, I printed it out and I was reading it to like everybody. I'm like, listen to what it says about Luna Moon.
Yes, please.
And they're like, what? I'm like, wow, this is like the dream right here. It,
Yeah,
it, it was like, imagine if you have this lovely little cottage, paddleboard shack of some kind
yeah,
that is off the lake and Luna's playing in the yard and then people come by and they have coffee and talk about paddleboarding and they do yoga and then you have your lip balm line sitting over here and this and I'm just like, well, where is this that I can sign up for having this?
which is great. I mean, but that's exactly what you create at your I mean, that's awesome because 'cause you've taken what the chat said and made it fruition because that's what you do on your retreats and everything. I mean, that whole vibe,
You're right.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's great. You've made it
I've
real, which
I
is
I've
awesome,
yeah, I know, and then whether it was giving me, like, goals to even, keep aspiring toward maybe,
right?
but I thought it was very interesting. I'm like, "Wow, this is
That
like."
is so magical. That is so
Yeah,
magical that it said that. It made a little story about you, which is great.
I
Oh my
know.
gosh, you should please post that in a reel. Please post that in a reel.
See? It's content, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you just have to be yeah, because you know what? What you were just saying about, like, the whole worry and fear and then maybe some anxiety or then you start stressing yourself out. That's when my creativity just shuts off. It's just like, I can't even think straight, like, I need to unplug everything and just go paddleboarding or something. I can't.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I can't a drive, a paddleboard, I don't know, something because when that happens, I feel like it's just like a blocker. It just shuts off those channels.
Yeah, mine spirals itself as well. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that happens to you too like that?
Oh, yes. I've totally which is hilarious. I've absolutely battled with anxiety for many, many years. So yeah, mine does more of a spiral and stuff, and I'm the same way. And I think that's where also me getting hands-on and making my silly little fortune scrolls, like
Yeah.
that calms that stops my spiral is again getting creative and getting craftsy and stuff like that helps me. And I wish I need to own a paddleboard so I can go out, like you said, go I'd be like, "I just need to go out, and
Yeah.
I need a minute."
To be
That would
in
be
in
me.
nature or a
Yeah,
walk like in the woods or a hike or something like that?
and where I live, we do live on a little acre, so I do have, we have, Snow White's I call it like Snow White's
Snow
Uh,
Whites?
like, with all the little we've got so many woodland creatures in the
Oh, okay.
it's like her little grotto or something
Oh my
by the
gosh.
yeah, we've got I mean, there's a pond it's a pond back there, which is more like a wetland because right now it is absolutely overflowed, and it's not a pond anymore, it's a mini, whatever. It's all over it's just it's a wetland, so it's overflowed. But every animal you could think of comes and visits and everything like that. So I do get a little bit of that because we do have a sunroom and off of the house, which is it was like that when we bought it. And it's just it is nice to go out there and we'll see the ducks or we'll see a bunny or whatever, and the deer. And funny enough, the deer, I had never, you tell me if you've seen this or anything, especially the mama deers with the babies in the spring. We see them every year. There's like there's a whole cluster of them. What do they call that? A herd of deer, right? Yeah. And we don't see we don't see the bucks very often. I think over the past 7 years or so, we've seen them twice or something like that. Like we
Wow.
don't see them. We see the moms and the babies, especially in spring and stuff. And it's so funny that near the pond, once it does die down a little bit and not into a wetland, the ground soaks it up. The moms will just lay back there and chill. And I don't know about you, I haven't seen a deer do that very often. And I thought at first, when it first happened, I actually thought one of the deers was like they were dying or something. Like I was like, "Oh no, what's happening? It's laying down." What? But no, she was just resting. And I told a nature like horticulture, it was like a nature expert or something like that. We were at a nature center recently and he goes, "That means your backyard is so peaceful that she's enough to like that a mom deer can sit down and chill." And I was like that's really nice. And then I saw like another mom come over and they were both like, it was funny that like in the kit the little fawns were just running around. They have the zoomies and they're running around and the two moms are in the back and they're just having like mom chats. They're just having coffee or whatever, just
That's
but they were
funny.
laying down and like chilling and just sitting. And I don't know about you. I don't I had never witnessed that before. So
I have so
we
many
do have a
deer.
little bit of a nice scenic nature in the back.
That's
So
cool.
I can go out in the backyard when the mosquitoes aren't eating me alive. But I can go out in our backyard and at least look out if I'm in the sunroom or chill and
Yeah, that's good. You
yeah.
got like yeah, a little corner of that's awesome. Yeah. Well,
Like I said, it's like Snow White's grotto. There's like everybody comes and visits. Like
I've been thinking of that image now, like the cartoon, like how that
and I do not go back there and sing. That's not me. I'm not that's not me. I will not you will not find me back there going, like
That's funny.
you will not see me back there.
That's funny. Yeah, so you get some inspiration, you feel a little creative by that. That's great. And so the scrolls, let's
Yes.
go back to that because you do something with them like intentionally, right? Like
I do, yeah. Like I said, I
walk
wanted
us
to when I
through.
made them up, I wanted them to be a little more, like I said, intentional. I wanted them to sound a bit more, not quite like a tarot card per se, but I wanted them to be more of an affirmation. I wanted, because I crave that in my life,
Yeah.
again, from us having the anxiety spirals
Yeah.
when we do get anxious about things, like business decisions, right? Absolutely love them to, if I need that in my life, I feel like somebody else would love that. And again, I didn't want them to be corny per se. I wanted them to be definitely more of like an affirmation, something that someone would like take to heart. Again, versus a fortune cookie where it's like here's your lucky numbers. Go play the lottery today or whatever.
Yeah.
I would love
Cool.
to share some with
Yeah.
you. If anything, take a breath, like, just take a nice deep breath. Some of the ones that I came up with was, "You have conquered more battles than anyone you've shown the world that you are a true warrior." So that one's kinda cool. I
That's
like that
nice.
one. Or, "Like the stars, your light may not always be loud, but it is constant and sparkles every day."
Very cute. I like it.
Thank you, yeah. I got one more. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
no, no, go ahead.
one
Go for it.
more. Every well, how did that one go? Oh, yes. "Even when everything sways in life, your soul remains steady like deep roots of a sacred tree."
Wow. That's
Thanks.
cool too. I like it. That's
Thanks,
nice.
yeah.
So then you have a little piece of art that you've kind of created and then you roll that up.
I roll it up and tie it with a little embroidery floss string, and then I have them at my booth. And again, if anyone, like I said, makes a purchase of candies or something, which the candies are magical in themselves. I love, like I said, I love
Yeah.
it. But it's just a little extra reminder that we are warriors and we are those people. I mean, yoga is all about, I mean, gosh, hello, they have warrior pose 1, 2, 3, and
Right.
I mean, that's what we all need. That's the message. That's what we need in life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what shows do you have that you want to tell us about?
The Lavender Festival is June 6th, 7th, and 8th. That is in Emley City. It's at the Eastern Michigan State Fairgrounds. And again, that's going to be my biggest show yet. 3 days. I've never done a 3-day show. I will be at the Specialty Food Pavilion. It's like a covered pavilion. It'll be over by all the food trucks and stuff like that. So yeah, please come see me. I will also, again, I love to do little things for different shows. Definitely for the May 3rd one coming up. For the band boosters. I will have something special for the moms. Mother's Day will be coming up. And then for the Lavender Festival in Thai, kind of in the same focus as my fortune scrolls, I'm doing like same thing, making like lavender or flower inspired, like same thing, like a tarot card, like a little giveaway, like a little something. I don't know. Again, that's just me. I love a giveaway. So
Oh, that's
I love to create that and keep that at my booth. And again, even that the fortune scrolls, they're fabulous as themselves. But I like that I can play on themes for every show and stuff coming up. And I'm so excited to also, I would love your input. I've got some summer flavors I've been messing around with in the kitchen.
yeah.
Well, and you tell me what speaks best to you. We've got three big three I've got it narrowed down to three. So we've got lemon and blueberry, we've got lime and coconut, or watermelon and mint. I think my favorite's going to be watermelon and mint, but you tell me what speaks to you for that one.
Well, honestly, you just said all three of like my favorite flavors. The other one that I love personally is cherry, but lemon
Mm,
I love, and then I love lime
yeah.
and watermelon. So I'm probably like I would like all three.
Well, thank you. That's a great compliment. Thank you.
No, really, because they are summery and
Well, and
um
thank you for cherry because I could do again, that's where I love to be creative with my business is that's another aspect of it is I could do a cherry lime flavor. I can do a
see,
a
yeah.
blueberry and cherry. So thank you for the cherry I love
Yeah. Cherry, yeah, definitely.
cherry's good too.
Yeah, you got to try that one.
I will. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. The only thing I always think of with cherry is I don't want it to taste like it's gotta be the right cherry flavor. It can't taste like medicine, and that is something that I use with all my flavors really, because I don't, when I started doing candies or when I started experimenting early on in the business, I did not like the candy flavorings that you can buy on Amazon or through a store or whatever.
Mm.
So, I use extracts. I try and go a little more natural with it and stuff because the flavors turn out so much better. They turn out they're just so much more genuine than
How do how do you find all of that? If you don't mind sharing,
yeah.
like,
No, no, no.
because that is
Um,
interesting in the aspect of even with lip balm, it's like okay, I need flavor. I mean, you want it to
yeah,
go
yeah.
natural or come off as that, not that fake.
Chemical, yeah,
Yeah.
like the chemical I call it, especially with the candy flavors, to me they're like it's like that fake chemical, that soapy taste, that kind
Yes.
of thing. Yeah, like you said, you don't want that. I had to go super experimental and I probably spent, a little too much money or wasted a little bit per se, but it was all within experimentation though. And my biggest with the candies anyway, my biggest hurdle I had to get over was the flavors had to cut through all the sugar I was doing. For each batch that I make, it's about a cup of sugar, which is a lot. It's a lot of sugar. I mean,
Mhm.
it does make so many one batch that I make makes about 14 candies. So again, it makes more than just one. You don't get a cup of sugar and just one candy.
Sure.
It had to cut through the flavors had to cut through that sugar because as I was experimenting and tasting, I would make the candies and then do a taste test, and there were times where we just tasted the sugar, and I'm like, "Huh." Like, well, obviously people want the flavor, so,
Yeah.
I had to tweak a little bit, and then, yeah, I came up with, like I said, extracts because they are so concentrated and potent, which is great, and they are like I said, they're a little more natural. The other one that I came up with that or, experimented with where it did cut through the sugar was the Torani coffee syrups. I use them
Oh, okay. Yep.
So, I mean, they've got a whole line, you're right, and they're not organic by any means or anything like that, but, I think they do have some natural they put in their ingredient list, they say in natural flavors or whatever. But I think other than the Torani brand, there was 3 or 4 different brands of coffee syrups that tried to be a little more organic and natural, and they would not cut through that sugar. Something about the Torani brand.
Hmm.
They are like genuine and they are true to their taste. True to their taste, true to their flavor. So I thoroughly enjoy both of those. Yeah, they could maybe work for the lip balms as well. I think that would be great. You could experiment with it if you wanted.
It's something to think about because I'm in the world of between oil and water.
Yes.
So I gotta have, something that's gonna work with the waxes and the butters and everything. But because they are more of a natural thing, it's not strong. None of these are strong. So I
Mhm.
guess, kind of like when you go to something that's a little more fake and it has a strong smell to it,
Right.
sometimes you're a little more conditioned to that versus than the natural aspect of it because it's light and then
Correct.
so sometimes when people and I'll say it too. I'll be like, wow, that one's really light, like I can just got a hint in there
Hint.
of
Yep,
it,
yep.
so and sometimes I on some of the flavors I've just, well, that it is what it is. I've tried a melon
Yeah.
one time, and I still kind of have the melon in the mix, but that's my mystery flavor, by the way.
Fabulous.
Not all of them are mystery, like, we don't know which flavor we're getting. It's just
Yeah.
that the name of it is just mystery because it's, I'm like,
It could
I
be,
don't
yeah.
know. I'm not sure. It could be watermelon, it could be dew honey, it could be cantaloupe, it could be any of those. But I'm definitely thinking melon world, like it's in that
And I
family.
like that. I
Yeah.
like again, I feel like people love that, and same aspect of the mystery bags that I have on my booth is I go, "Just let the universe pick for you. Just let it hey."
Because now you've forgotten. You're not even sure. I'm like, I don't know what's in that one.
Well, I don't remember what I put in the bags the night
Right.
before or whatever, yeah, I'd be like, "I have no clue what's in that bag."
Do people like picking out a mystery? They like,
They sell out.
do they?
Yes, they do. They sell out. The mystery
That's
bags
cool.
are sometimes the first to go on my booth, which is great. So keep your mystery flavor. Keep it
Yeah,
for
I'll have to because I think sometimes people get overwhelmed by choices. You throw all these options at them and you want to have variety there, but then at the same time, I think there's like, I don't know, what would you choose?
it's just the fun of it. I think it's again, creativity, fun, it's the fun of it for sure. But keep tweaking going back to the flavorings and the extracts for a minute with your lip balms. Funny enough, so they do make for example, they make a strawberry extract like just through McCormick or whatever. And I was like, yeah, that's gonna be great. Cause again, I have a strawberry flavor that I had in mind and stuff with the strawberry orange. And the strawberry extract, I tried, I think 7 or 8 different ways and it would not cut through that sugar for
Mm,
me. For me, it would not cut through the sugar. Go to the Torani brand, the Torani coffee syrup brand. That one cuts through the sugars. Again, I don't know again, they're probably doing something a little different, but I just
yeah,
found it so interesting. They're they're both great in flavor. They're both strawberry. One would cut through the sugar, one would not. So it's just funny how it works out that, it just works out. So it's
yeah.
been a lot of experimentation on my end.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, absolutely. I've done those too, but yeah, but you do one thing, or like you're saying, one thing just a little different,
Hmm.
and it might enhance it, it's just going to change it somehow, but it's all the fun of it.
It is. It is. Yeah, I try not to get too discouraged from
Yeah.
either, like I said, wasting product or something like that. And
Mhm.
then we just go back to the chat, and the chat's like, everything's great.
It's very positive.
Right. It's like your flavors are great. Everything will work out. It's fine.
Yeah, you're like, can you just like pet me and tell me everything will be fine?
Again, I do not use it as a therapist. I do not, I swear. But it's encouraging. And I'm very excited for those summer flavors to come out for sure.
Cool. That's awesome.
I don't know if I'm gonna do all 3 because I already it's hard to take away flavors that people are already enjoying, but
Yeah,
then I love to switch it up and add those seasonal flavors, because that's just the fun of it. That's, again, having the fun, keeping the fun.
absolutely.
Yeah, you're
You
fine.
plug your social media, your website,
Hmm.
all those things too.
Yeah, sure. I don't have a website yet. I just didn't get around to it. So I feel like social's been great enough, but definitely email. Yeah, I absolutely do. I do birthday parties, special events, that type thing. You can do custom orders with me as well. So just Facebook. Facebook is my moon treats, and then email is info dot treats at gmail.com. So yeah, I just have those two ways of you message, people can message me or whatever. But yeah,
Sure.
please check it out if anyone's interested. They
Absolutely.
are they are they speak to my soul, which
Putting
is why I make them. Yeah,
your
I
heart
like
and soul into it.
I do. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description too.
Oh, great. That'll be
Yeah,
fantastic. So
absolutely. But thanks
yeah,
for
and then
sharing everything.
absolutely. Well, again, it's been such an honor and such a pleasure to be on today and to just for us to have fun and chatting and enjoy talking about what we do and what our passions are.
Yeah, I love it. I'm glad you wanted to do this, and I'm sure we'll do some more collaboration in the future and yeah, maybe another podcast episode. You never know.
Right, right. Or I know we talked about the retreats. You have your retreats coming up. What are the dates on those again? I forget.
So I have one in the end of July. And
Okay.
that's my big one, really. Some of the other things are more destinational paddles, but it's in the Upper Peninsula, and it's the last weekend of July, and it's got a couple spots left, and yeah, pretty
Great. That
good.
sounds like you're almost sold out. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Everybody check it out. Somebody go get those extra spots left, I swear.
Thank you so much. I love
Yeah.
this. This is great.
This is great. And I
And
love the UP. I don't know about you. There is a different air up there and it is fresh.
it's
So
fresh. It is.
there's a different like clearing and a different freshness to the UP. If no one's if someone's looking if like they're interested in going, check that out. Check out yeah, that retreat sounds fantastic.
Yeah, and what's great, so this is my third time going? Yeah, it's only third. I
Wow,
know.
that's fantastic. Yeah.
And because we're so close to the pictured rocks, it's almost like if you've never done pictured
Oh, the
rocks,
pictured rocks.
do
Yes.
that, come to the retreat or vice versa, whichever. But that would be another thing to see. And besides, being on the paddle boards with us, but
Oh my god, you just yeah, oh my gosh. Again, thinking of inspirations and stuff, I absolutely just thought of I could do a candy based on the pictured rocks up north. Oh,
okay. All right. We're
sorry.
going to talk. We're going to talk.
There's my brain. There's my ADH brain going in
No, that's
big
awesome.
directions.
Eh,
You just said pictured rocks, and I went, rocks? My candies? Not rock candy, but
Right.
very. I went, ooh, we could play. We could play with that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That would be fun.
Very good. I love it.
Well, thank you again, Misty.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much for tuning into the episode of Wave On. Big love to my guests for sharing their creative spark and business journey. It's always amazing to connect with fellow makers who get it. Don't forget to check out the show notes for links to the candy creations and to stay in the loop for everything Luna Moon, from PeaceFest to Big Bay Retreat, classes, yoga, all the things. Luna Moon, SUP, yoga.com. If you like the episode, share it with a friend or drop a review. It helps more people find these good vibes. Until next time, keep creating, keep connecting, and wave on.